everybody. So I've had a few people ask me on how to obtain sponsorship. So I thought I would do a really quick video about an easy way for you to go out to find sponsors. So grab your pen and paper because I'm going to give you some ideas that hopefully will help you in your sponsorship endeavor. All right, so the first thing you want to do is you want to start as soon as possible. So as soon as you know that you're actually going to be competing in the pageant, make sure you get out there and really start to make an appearance for yourself and really start to sell yourself on how well you will represent the system and how well you will be a queen. There's a couple of things you need to remember when you're putting together your sponsorship list, and that is how much is all of this going to cost. A few things, see, I even took my own notes here, but a few things to remember is if you're going to have to travel somewhere, you are going to want to take into consideration your expenses for traveling. If your application fee, each pageant usually has an application fee and an entry fee. So always take that into consideration, of course, your traveling expenses. And then ad pages. Do you have to buy ad pages? How much are the ad pages? And tickets. Do you have to sell tickets to the pageant? How many tickets do you have to sell? How much are they? How much money are you going to need to raise if you don't sell all of them? Tickets to pageants are really easy to sell, though. Those are kind of family, friends always want to go and support. So those ones are pretty easy. Other things to take into consideration is clothing. What are you going to wear for the pageant? And not just necessarily for the pageant, but if your pageant takes place over a week-long time period, what are you going to wear during that week? So of course you're going to have your evening gown, your interview suit, your swimsuit, your fitness wear, your fun fashion, things like that, things that you actually compete in. You're going to have that wardrobe. But you also need to think about your rehearsal wardrobe. What are you going to wear to rehearsals? What are you going to wear to outings? What are you going to wear for interview? Things like that are, if you guys are doing a special event, if you're going to a red carpet event, what are you going to wear on the red carpet? That can add up. Also, do you have a gym membership that you're going to have to pay for? That's another thing to think about. Try to find a sponsorship for that. Most gyms will actually give you anywhere from 30 to 90 days as a sponsorship. So that's an in-kind donation that you should be willing to accept if they're, instead of asking them for cash, accept the membership for the 30 to 90 days or however long they're willing to give you. Coaching. Are you going to need any type of pageant coaching? Some girls like to do it on their own. Some girls like to hire a coach. I've done it both ways. So either way, however you prefer, you're most comfortable with, but think about it. If you are going to get some interview coaching, some walking coaching, anything like that, you're going to want to take in consideration how much that is going to cost as well. And then, is your family going to come and support you while you're there if it's away? How much money are they going to need for their travel expenses? Things like that. If they have to stay at a hotel, if they're going to fly, or if they're going to drive, how much it's going to cost in gas. Those are just some things to keep in mind when you're going out looking for sponsors. So you need to write down a budget and find out how much it's really going to cost you to compete in this pageant. And then from there, find out who you're going to ask and for how much. Now, you're always going to have different types of how do I say this? I guess different people. You'll have your family and friends that you'll ask, obviously, to see if any of them want to sponsor you. And then you'll have businesses that you don't know, like cold calling companies type thing, where you'll just go out and ask them if they'd be willing to sponsor you for this. Another thing to keep in mind as well is always be willing to accept in-kind donations. If you're going to go, if you need tanning done, if you need your hair done, if you need your nails done, your eyebrows waxed, things like that, always be willing to do in-kind donations. So when you're going to go out and find your sponsors, you're going to ask your family and your friends. That's going to be like your A-list group of people who you'll ask first. And you don't really have to be as formal as what you would be if you're going out to ask a business, but still keep it very professional, because this is you're asking them for money. So this is something, it is a professional matter. So you want to make sure that you are doing this in a professional way. When you go out and you talk to your Chamber of Commerce or the hospitality industry, such as hotels, restaurants, things like that, banks, stores, law firms, real estate agents, things like that, you want to make sure that you are dressing the part of a queen. Okay, so you don't ever want to wear anything super tight, nothing low cut. You don't want to be have this overwhelming smell of perfume that makes them nauseous when you walk in the door. And then when you leave, they just think, oh my goodness, what was she wearing? Okay. You don't need to, I never chew gum when I go in and talk to places, because my grandma had this saying, a cud chewing cow and a gum chewing girl. What is the difference? I see it now, the intelligent look on the cud chewing cow. Kind of funny, but it always makes me think, if I'm going out somewhere to talk to people, am I going to be chomping my gum as I stand there and talk to them? I hope not, because that's rude. So never, when you're going in to talk to a business, never chew gum. That's really important to remember. I kind of have notes here that I'm going through, so if you hear me flipping through paper, that's why. I just want to make sure that I'm giving you enough information in this. Another thing that you want to think about when you're going out is how does your hair look? Is your hair presentable? Does it look like you just woke up, rolled out of bed, and threw your hair up in a messy bun and went out to ask for sponsorships? Or did you actually take time to do your hair? Another thing is you don't need to be wearing 4.5-inch heels going out looking for sponsors. So try to leave your stage shoes at home and just wear your everyday shoes that you would wear with an outfit or however you want to do it. Jewelry is okay, because a lot of us like to wear jewelry, but an excessive amount of jewelry, I would try to shy away from wearing excessive amounts of jewelry. Last but not least, just make sure that when you're out, I tend not to like to wear sleeveless, strapless spaghetti straps, things like that when I'm going into a professional place of business. Just like if I was going in for a job interview. What would I wear if I was going to go into a job interview? That's what you want to keep in mind. Now, a couple of things. When you go in to ask for them, I take in with me, if there's a press release, I like to take in the press release, because the press release will tell them a little bit about the pageant, who you are representing, like county, state, city, things like that. And it also gives them a little bit more information about who runs this pageant, and is this a for sure thing, or is this just some fly by the seat of your pants type of a deal. So I like to take in the press release. Now, in that press release, I also put a little bit about myself. I put a little bit about my platform, what I'm involved in, different community services that I'm involved in, volunteer work that I've done in the past. I also like to talk about my family. I am a Mrs., so I will talk about my husband and my children as well. Sorry, I had to look down at my notes for a minute there. Also, I like to give them an idea of how much I'm looking for. So I'll give them like a bronze, silver, and gold and platinum package. So in each one, I will include different things. Obviously, platinum is the best. So I'm going to take almost about half of what my budget is and put that towards a platinum package. Now, with each package, you want to make sure that you are giving them something in return. So if it's an in-store appearance, if they have a grand opening, if they are at an event where they need a volunteer, things like that, offer to do an appearance for them with your crown and sash, or just your sash, or whatever you may have. They may also have a trade show. If you have autograph cards, offer to put their business logo on your autograph cards, because pageant girls, we sign those and hand those out like they're candy to little kids. You may also offer a full page ad in the program book for your pageant that you're going to be competing in. Depending on the sponsorship level, sometimes if it's a big sponsor, I'll offer a full page, and then smaller down, half a page, quarter of a page, a business card, name on a list type thing. If you have a blog or a website, offer to put their logo with the link to their business on your website, on your blog. Offer to promote them on social media. You don't want to give these to each one of the sponsors. You want to make that platinum package just that wow package. You're going way out for them in exchange for how they're going to help you. List of your name on a list in a program book, things like that. That's about, that can be anywhere from $50 to $100, depending on how much your program page is worth. I like to do this in person. Over the phone, it's so easy for someone to tell you no. They can't look you in the eyes. They're not sitting across the room from you, listening to you talk about your passion for your platform or for this pageant system and for your community involvement and why you're doing this. Also, people are busy, so they don't really want to take the time sometimes to talk to somebody on the phone. It's really easy for them to get distracted, do two things at once. When you go in person, they have your full attention. You're sitting there, you're smiling, you're speaking to them, you're dressed like you would be how they would want to see you representing them. So when you're going in there, I would always try to do it in person. Also, email, that doesn't work too well either. Email is so easy to turn around and shoot back. Thank you for contacting us at this time. We're not interested. Okay, but when you're in person, it's so much harder for somebody to say no. So that's just something else that, plus they also want to see who they're putting their name to. Are you somebody that they will be willing to sponsor because you share their morals, you share their values. Have a conversation with the people, make them feel comfortable in representing you. You want to also make sure you have about a 30-second commercial for your platform or to kind of like sell yourself to them. Why they will want to support you. So that's another thing to remember as well when you're going in looking for sponsors, okay? So just grab a 30-second, really short speech. If you're only meeting them in the elevator, this is the only time you have with them is from floor 1 to floor 3. Give them that 30-second speech and really sell yourself to them on why they should want to represent you and why you want them in your corner. Make sure you're well educated about who they service, what they sell, what products they use. Make sure you know the company, do your research before you go and ask them, because they may say, how's this going to benefit us? So knowing who you're asking for sponsorship is always important as well. I hope this has given you a little bit more information on how to go out and find sponsors, and I wish you the best of luck going out and finding your sponsors.